3 movies out this weekend. I want to talk to Willie Waffle, our very own movie reviewer, standing by on the line right now. Good morning, Willie. Good morning.
Good morning. How's everybody going today?
I don't know about you down that way. You're down to the south, but we're looking at sunshine clear on through. I don't see a raindrop in the forecast right now.
Well, hey, that's a nice change. Come
Yeah.
on, it's been kind of dark and dingy and dank and just kind of icky the last week.
I don't know about you, but I thought it was going to snow the other day. It was so cold. But
Right.
things have made their way back. It'll be a really nice weekend. All right, so let's start with Hereditary. Did you see it? What are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah, I think Hereditary might be the surprise movie of the year. It's a horror movie. It stars Toni Collette, and she plays this woman who, let's be honest, didn't have a good relationship with mom. And after mother passes away, she has some mixed feelings. But what's even worse is that it feels like things are getting weird, like mom is reaching out to her from beyond the grave or something crazy like that. And I really like the movie because, it does all the horror stuff right, and in a way that even if it's cliche, it feels shocking, and it feels scary, and it feels ominous. And I think Toni Collette is absolutely an amazing actress. I think she's somebody who doesn't get enough credit for what she does. I'm going 4 waffles for Hereditary. I think you got a real winner here.
Nice,
Wow.
Willie.
And it's a scary R-rated movie?
Yeah, scary
All right.
R-rated. I think it was R-rated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's R-rated. Yeah.
All right, for Jodie Foster fans out there, she's back in a movie about an ER that is run for criminals?
Well, basically for criminals.
Oh.
Yeah, it's set kind of like 10 years in the future, and Los Angeles is undergoing riots, and she runs this hospital. It's in the middle of downtown, and if you're a criminal, you pay a yearly fee, and if something happens while you're maybe robbing a bank or stealing something, you show up there, no questions asked, and she takes care of your medical needs. And it's a really cool role for Jodie Foster because it's not one that you would expect from her. She's playing a woman who's about 70 years old. She's kind of cranky. She's kind of crabby. She's got all the best one-liners. And, of course, there's a deep, dark story about how she ended up where she is. And I think the movie has a lot going for it, but it just feels like somewhere down deep there's a good story. There's a strong story that doesn't quite emerge. It gets buried under all these layers as we see all the different criminals that are at the hospital at the time and what's going on with them and how it's all supposed to come together in some crazy way at the end. And instead of coming together in a crazy way, it just comes together in a big, violent, massive kind of thing that isn't as interesting as if all the stories tied together a little bit better.
What are you giving it?
I'm going to say 2.5 waffles.
Right.
I think it's a good movie. It's a solid movie.
All right.
Now, Willie, you mentioned that the main hospital or whatever is located in a downtown area. How's the economic development around it? Does it get into that at all? Or?
I'm not walking into that one.
Don't answer this question. All right, let's. I want to switch gears before we go to the final movie, Ocean's 8, which my wife is really, really big on this movie. Just hint, hint. But before I get there, I want to ask you about a movie that is kind of following the Mets playbook. The movie came out with a huge thunder, win, breaking records, and then since then it has tanked. You know the movie I'm talking about.
Are we talking about Solo?
We are.
Okay. Well,
I mean, this could be a blockbuster. This could be a box office bomb when it's all said and done.
Well, the money involved has put it into the bomb category simply because, it's going to be hard for them to make all their money back in the theatrical release. That they're going to have to really make it back in the DVD and the downloads and such like that. What can I tell you? Star Wars found out that you can't go up against the Avengers and Deadpool in the same weekend and make as much money as you do when you're all by yourself in December and no other big movie dares to take you on. I mean, I think that's the big story here. I don't think it's so much the Star Wars fans are giving up or people don't care about it anymore. I think it really is. You had more competition. You had other things people would rather see. And it just didn't work out. It'd be like, if I was on a deserted island with Sandra Bullock, I'd look like I was pretty good.
Yeah.
But in Manhattan, she has better options.
I think of it as the, and maybe you disagree with this, but I think of it as the great restaurant that had like a dozen tables and they were sold out every week. It was just packed. Everybody loved the restaurant. So they decided to add another 50 tables. And now the place is empty. And I kind of feel like they have oversaturated the Star Wars market.
Well, that's curious because really the Avengers are the only ones who have gotten away with this idea that you can have spin-off after spin-off after spin-off after spin-off. I mean, the Star Wars folks, they seem to be trying to go in that direction. There's the Star Wars TV series that they're working on. There's maybe a Boba Fett movie they're working on. There's maybe a Lando Calrissian movie they're working on. We still have the final of the trilogy that's going to be coming out to finalize that story. So they're really trying to put out a lot of product. It's hard to maintain all of it. And I'll tell you the other big difference between the Solo movie and all the Avengers movies. All the Avengers movies build on each other. You have to see what happens in that movie because it's part of the same story. For the Solo movie, we already know the story.
Right. All right. Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I do want to see it in theaters, so we might do that. The other one, do you want to add to that?
I was just going to say, just like the New York Mets, the New York Daily News is reporting this morning that they're going to trade Chewbacca and Jabba the Hutt for 2 stormtroopers and Admiral Akbar. So
my wife loves the Ocean's 11 series, but I do believe it was maybe the male eye candy that really attracted George Clooney and all of that kind of attracted her to the movie. Will she like Ocean's 8?
I think it's going to be okay. I think whenever you trade in, George Clooney for Sandra Bullock, you're doing all right. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, the movie just needs more energy, more fun, more, close calls, more tension. All the pieces are there, kind of like with the horror movie Hereditary. The pieces are there. We see them, recruiting the people. We see them plotting the big plot. But, it never really kind of gets exciting. It just kind of delivers solidly. It's a 1.5 Waffle movie.
Wow.
It just needs something exciting going on. I never feel like it got that level.
And let me ask you, subconsciously, is it the female cast?
No, I don't think that's it because you've got a really good cast.
Yeah.
I think it's the script isn't as good. The ups and downs of the movie aren't as good. I think it doesn't have that repartee. It doesn't have that snappy dialogue, I think, in the way that the other Ocean's movies did.
All right. Worth seeing, but not going to be the big explosive Ocean's 11 or Ocean's... Was there a 12, too?
Yes.
There was an Ocean's 11, 12, and 13.
Yeah. Was it Matt Damon that was in those two?
Yep, Matt Damon was in those. Brad Pitt,
You're
a lot of folks.
Yeah, that was a big cast. So, all right, Willie, it's wafflemovies.com. You have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk again next week. Thanks so much.
You got it. I'll talk to you next week.